Good morning class. In last class I started the final course and in which I started the theme for unit 3 and the circulatory system. In circulatory system I explained you about the blood, its group, structure of heart, blood vessels and circulation of blood. Now in today's class I explain you about the terms that concern with the circulation of blood. Now it is heartbeat and pulse. We all know that the blood that comes into the auricles, it comes at the same time. In both the auricles the blood enters at the same time and simultaneously both the auricles contract and the blood pushed to the ventricles, their respective ventricles at the same time. And after coming the blood into the ventricles, both ventricles contract at the same time and blood pushed to the lungs and to all parts of the body. This contraction, one set of contraction is called, it is created a beat in heart. Contraction of chambers of the heart creates beat and that is called the heartbeat. What is heartbeat? One complete set of contraction of auricles and ventricles by the heart is called heartbeat. Now it is 70 or to 80 times per minute. The normal heartbeat in adults is 70 to 80 times per minute. Now the second is the pulse. While pushing the blood by the heart to all parts of the body and to the lungs, a pressure, it needs force and the force exerts pressure on the arterial wall. The force exerts pressure on the arterial wall and this pressure is called pulse. The pulse is the pressure that exerts on the walls of the artery. So, while pushing the blood, pressure exerts and that pressure feels us the pulse. That is called the pulse. This is all about the heartbeat and pulse. The second topic of this chapter is the pacemaker. We all know that heart is made up of a special type of muscles and that muscle is called cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscles are very strong and it works throughout the life of the living beings. And some sensory cells, nerve cells are present on the right auricle and these nerve cells regulates the rate of the working of the heart. It regulates the increasing and decreasing beat of the heart. And these cells are called sinoatrial node. In short, it is called SA node. It paces the heart, so that it is called pacemaker. If it fails to work, so in that case artificial pacemaker is planted in the heart and so the heart works properly. Without these cells, heart is not able to work properly. It provides senses to work the heart. These cells provide senses to work the heart. So without these cells, heart is not able to work. So, this is all about the heartbeat, pulse and pacemaker. The second topic of our chapter is double circulation. In mammals, the blood circulation is shown in double form, so that it is called, once the blood circulates from the heart to the lungs and once it circulates from the heart to whole parts of the body. In this way, it circulates in 2 times, so that it is called double circulation. See in this chart, this is right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle. First, the right ventricle push the blood from right ventricle to the lungs. This is one circulation. This is one circulation, and this circulation is called pulmonary circulation. When the heart pushed blood to the lungs, that circulation is called pulmonary circulation. The pulmonary word concerned with the lungs. So, this circulation is called pulmonary circulation. And in second, left ventricle pushed the blood to the upper region of our body and to the lower region of our body. This is the second circulation, and this circulation is called systemic circulation. So, 2 types of circulation occurs in human body, so that it is called double circulation. See this chart, left ventricle first, at the same time it pushes the blood to the head region and to the liver, to the stomach, to the kidney, to the abdominal region of the human body. So, it occurs in 2 forms. First, pulmonary circulation. First, it pushed the blood to the lungs, and secondly, it pushed the blood to whole parts of the body. That is called systemic circulation. In this way, it is called, so that it is called double circulation. Now I will discuss about some heart disorders. The first is the palpitation. In this, heart beats fastly than the normal rate. The normal rate of heartbeat is 70 to 80 times per minute. When the heart beats more than this time, then that case is called palpitation. That disorder is called palpitation, and it is due to the fright. When the person gets fright, so in that case it suffers from the palpitation. Now second is the hypertension. Hypertension is causes due to the high blood pressure, and high blood pressure exert high pressure on the arterial wall, and so it causes hypertension in the person, and it is caused due to the lack of physical activity, due to the stress, and or due to the overweight according to their age. The third is the heart attack. When the artery that supplies the blood to the heart gets blocked, in that condition heart is not able to work, and that stroke is called heart attack, and it leads to the cardiac attack. Heart attack leads to the cardiac attack. Cardiac attack means when the heart is not able to supply the blood to all parts of the body or to the lungs, and it is because of the blockage of the coronary artery that supplies the blood to the walls of the heart, and it is this cardiac attack leads to the death of a person. So these are some disorders of the heart. Now I will explain you what should be done if a person suffering from cardiac attack or heart attack. In such condition, first of all, call a doctor or ambulance. Before coming doctor or ambulance, lie down a person in comfortable position and raised his legs above the level of heart, and start CPR. CPR means cardiac pulmonary resuscitation. In such condition, compress the chest and breathe in the person's mouth. Start breathing in person's mouth. This is the first aid for the cardiac attack or heart attack. This is called CPR. In short, it is called CPR, means cardiac pulmonary resuscitation. Cardiac means compressing the heart, and pulmonary means breathing in person's mouth, and resuscitation. This process is the combination of cardiac and breathing and compression of chest. Now, how we keep our heart healthy? There are a few points given in your book that I am going to explain you. First, eat balanced diet. We should eat balanced diet and avoid to eat animal fat, and avoid to eat more animal fat or oily food. This avoidation makes our heart healthy. Now next, eat fresh fruit and plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables. It also makes our heart very healthy. Now exercise regularly. This is very important point to make our heart healthy. Exercise, and exercise regularly for 30 minutes at least 3 days in a week. This exercise makes our heart very healthy, and it also controls our weight, means obesity. Obesity is overweight according to the age, and regular exercise controls our weight, controls the obesity. These are a few terms, these are the few points that how we make our heart healthy. Now I will explain you the lymphatic system. The last topic of our chapter is lymphatic system. Now the last topic of our chapter is the lymphatic system. When the blood reaches the capillaries, some WBCs, white blood cells, and plasma leak out and surrounds the tissues and cells. This is called tissue fluid or interstitial fluid or lymph. It is very rich nutrient fluid, and it has only white blood cells in it, so that it is pale yellow in color. And this fluid, to circulate this fluid, a set of vessels are there, and that set is called lymphatic system, and the vessels through which lymph circulate, that is called lymph vessels. The composition of lymph is, the fluid part of lymph contains water, nutrients and waste nutrients, and the cells that are present in the lymph is WBCS. Only white blood cells are present in the lymph, no any other cells are present. These are the composition of lymph. Now, how the lymph move in body? The next, how lymph circulate in our bodies. As blood circulates by pumping through the heart, there is no any organ to pump the lymph. It circulates because of the contraction of the muscle. When the muscle contracts, lymph comes into the lymph vessel and it circulates in the body. This is the way how the lymph move or circulate in the human body. Now next is the function of the, it is highly nutritious fluid, and it has all the nutrients in it, and to provide all the nutrients to the cells or tissues. This is the first function of the lymph. Second is protection, as it has WBCS in it, and we all know that WBCS white blood cells are the protecting cells. It protects us from the various diseases, and the WBCS cells are present in the lymph nodes. A swelling is present at certain interval in the lymph vessel, and that swelling is called lymph nodes, in which WBCS cells are present, and it provides protection against the several diseases. So its second function is to provide immunity or protection from the several diseases. Now the second is the absorption. Absorption of fatty acids and digested food is also done by the digested food. Sometimes digested food and fatty acid does not absorb by the blood, and at that time lymph absorbs the fatty acids and then circulates into the throughout the body. This is the third function of lymph, means absorption of fatty acid and digested food. Now the last is the drainage. Drainage, lymph drains nutrients and waste products into the blood. This is the last function, drainage. It drains the nutrients, wastes, proteins into the blood. This is all about the lymphatic system. In this way I have completed this chapter. We will meet with the PDF and the next practical in next class, with the next chapter in next class. Till then, thank you.